Something strange is going on in Pittsburgh, and it has everything to do with Kyle Dubas, who recently said that everything the media has said is a lie about his plans for the Penguins. We're also looking at an injury update for Rickard Rakell, the Penguins' leading goal scorer, who is looking to return to the lineup against his former team, the Anaheim Ducks. We will provide an injury update on Rakell and break down the comments that Kyle Dubas said in the last 2 days regarding his fire sale. So let's talk all about Kyle Dubas, Rickard Rakell, and the game tonight against the Anaheim Ducks. The Penguins desperately need a win. They're in the midst of a 7-game road trip, and the Anaheim Ducks will be their opponent tonight. But first, if you haven't already, subscribe to Penguins Digest. 86% of you have not yet subscribed to the channel. If you want the latest Pittsburgh Penguins news, rumors, updates, and analysis, subscribe to Penguins Digest. And I want to first say, thank you all very much. We have eclipsed 500 subscribers on this channel. Let's talk about the Dubas dilemma first and foremost, because this is in the headlines right now. Kyle Dubas is trying to debunk everything that the media has been pushing about his potential fire sale of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Instead of telling you what I think, instead of telling you my interpretation of what Kyle Dubas said or my theory as far as what has gone wrong in the reports, I'm just going to show you exactly what Kyle Dubas said so that it cannot be twisted, so that it cannot be misconstrued. This is what Kyle Dubas said so that nobody is going to hide this information from you any longer. I am tired of being lied to by the media just as much as you all. So I'm here on Penguins Digest to provide the real stuff, the juicy stuff, the stuff that was actually said by the people we care about. And the guy that we really care about is Kyle Dubas, the general manager of our beloved Penguins. What did Dubas say? Well, Dubas said, as our actions have shown from last March onward, we're trying to bring in younger NHL players, bring in prospects, and bring in draft picks, with the goal being to quickly develop them into assets that can help the core win one more time and set the team up for the long-range future. What else did Kyle Dubas say? That's our goal, our ambition, and we're not going to stray from that. But to say that it's a fire sale or that we will retain money on long-term deals, I understand how this stuff gets out and begins to take a life of its own. But it's not accurate. We've had lots of conversations, but are we telling teams that everything must go? No, we're not. So that's directly from Kyle Dubas. Let's continue from a completely different article. The way we're going to continue will be clear to everybody, which is that we're trying to return the team to being a contender as soon as possible. How are we going to do that? We have to add younger NHL players. Back to that younger NHL players remark. We have to add prospects, and we have to add future capital and draft picks to the mix. So my view of it is that we should be able to accomplish that and still be able to maintain our spot in the playoff race and push for it. I know that isn't met with the most open understanding at times, and I understand why people might want it to be binary. They want it to be, are you in contention right now, or are you rebuilding right now? That's what I want to know. And then the in-between, where it tends to begin to get a little bit ambiguous there. I think we kind of like it that way as well because it keeps our cards closer to our chest. So what that tells me is Kyle Dubas likes the fact that people are asking questions. He likes the fact that there are people that believe one thing, people that believe another thing, and then a whole heck of a lot of people in the middle. Where's where we all fall? We want to know the truth. We want to know, hey, is it this? Is it that? Kyle Dubas wants it to be a secret. He doesn't want everybody to know his exact plan because he still wants to have leverage in these trades that he's planning to make. And I understand that entirely. Kyle Dubas doesn't want to have a fire sale. He has the best team's interest in mind at all times. And I know we want to trash him. I've even trashed him a little bit lately. A lot of people are hating on Kyle Dubas. And yes, he's made mistakes, but we all make mistakes. That's life, folks. We've all made mistakes. Kyle Dubas has made some pretty bad mistakes, but he's also made some really good signings in his tenure as the Penguins GM. He hasn't even been here that long yet. He's acquired guys like Cody Glass, Philip Tomasino, who we love. Meanwhile, he's trading away guys like Riley Smith and Lars Eller that we don't need, that don't fit our winning timeline. To this point, The plan is seemingly working. The team has remained in a similar position in the NHL standings as in previous years, but the future is becoming brighter. Players that are close to NHL ready or prospects that are very promising within the next 2 to 3 year time frame. You look back at the Rutger McGroarty trade. Dubas thought Rutger McGroarty was going to be the man, that he was going to come into the NHL and play right away. Now that ended up not being the case right away, but he still could make an impact later on this season. Dubas is confident in these players he's bringing in, and Wilkes-Barre is becoming one of the top teams in their conference at the AHL level. So Dubas knows what he's doing. Trust me, guys. We might want to say sometimes that this guy is dumb and that he's making some stupid trades, trying to jeopardize the Pittsburgh Penguins. But the reality of the situation is that Kyle Dubas actually does have a plan. He's going to tell us the plan over and over again until we get it through our thick skulls, because sometimes it's hard to get it through my thick skull. But right now, I believe Kyle Dubas. I believe what he's saying. I believe what he believes. And it helps to have a GM that has a picture for this team, that has not necessarily a promise anymore, but just an idea, a vision of what this team could be. And Kyle Dubas is trying to execute that vision. That's all. That's simply it. The strategies that the Penguins are using right now, including the strategies the media are using right now, is to misconstrue the idea that Kyle Dubas has for this team. So as long as they're able to push out fake news and push out things that aren't necessarily in the cards for the Penguins, Dubas can take it one step further and hold his cards that much closer to his chest so that other teams don't know his exact plan and his exact intentions. He likes the idea of being unpredictable so that the Penguins can make these trades and leverage people. All the rumors that we've talked about on this channel, they could be legit. They could end up happening. They could be true. But Kyle Dubas doesn't want us to know that. So we're going to continue to speculate, but we're never actually going to know what the next thing Kyle Dubas is going to do. So it's cool. It's fun. I like it. It's a mystery. Let's try to solve the mystery. But at the end of the day, we're not going to know until it happens. So let's continue to let Kyle Dubas do his thing. Let's let him cook. Let's stop criticizing him as much. And let's move on to the next topic today. And that is the game tonight. The battle of the birds. Penguins versus Ducks. The Penguins are flightless. And they swim. And the Ducks fly. Is that relevant at all? No. It's not. It's still a battle of the birds. You guys want to say a penguin isn't a bird? Look it up. They're a bird. They might be flightless, but they're a bird. Let's talk about the battle of the birds. Come on now. This is the Rickard Rakell revenge game we've been waiting for. And yes, I'm ready to tell you, it is going to be a revenge game for Rickard Rakell because Rickard Rakell returns to the lineup tonight. Rickard Rakell will be in the lineup Thursday night against the Anaheim Ducks on the West Coast, guys. 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time where we're at. But Rickard Rakell will be playing. He was out in the last game because of personal reasons, and he did practice Wednesday. And he is set to return and have his revenge game against his former team, the Anaheim Ducks, the team that traded him to the Penguins at the deadline years ago, back when Ron Hextall was the general manager of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Rickard Rakell is having a fantastic season for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So we have to shout out Rickard Rakell and what he's been able to accomplish this season. Being that we are going to have that revenge game tonight, Rickard Rakell deserves to be celebrated. And I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going to tell you, you might not like it, but I'm going to tell you, Rickard Rakell, hat trick watch tonight, baby. Hat trick watch for Rickard Rakell. He's already got 23 goals on the season, and I believe he could go out there and score 3 against his former team tonight. I got 2 guys on hat trick watch tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Rakell is the first. The second player that I am putting on hat trick watch tonight is none other than Kevin Hayes. Why is Kevin Hayes on hat trick watch? Let me tell you. Kevin Hayes has been fantastic lately. We'll talk about him a little bit more in a second. But in his last game against the Canucks, in his last 20 games against the Canucks, he has 14 points. He has 7 points in his last 6 games versus them, which includes his only career hat trick, January 17th, 2023. We are now at January 23rd, 2025, 2 years and 6 days from the day of Kevin Hayes' first career, only career hat trick. I am putting him on hat trick watch tonight. Mike Sullivan has been saying so many good things about Kevin Hayes lately. He's found his role on this team. He's finally in a spot where he is his best version of himself. He is productive as the third line center of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sullivan, when I listen to Sullivan talk about Kevin Hayes, you can tell he respects the heck out of Kevin Hayes. He even talked about the swagger that Kevin Hayes brings to the table. And here's what's changed in Mike Sullivan's eyes. Kevin Hayes is moving his feet more. He's skating more, which is creating a lot more space, a lot more time. He's taking the shots. He's doing what he has to do to help this team produce. He is a goal scorer. That's Kevin Hayes' mentality. He didn't even have an assist for the longest time this season. It was goal, 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 goal for Kevin Hayes. Well, he got 3 goals against Anaheim 2 years ago. So I'm looking for him to score. He's been better since he's been moved to center. That's what Sullivan said. Since he moved from wing to center, that was the change for Kevin Hayes' season. He was a healthy scratch for a month and a half, guys. For a month and a half, this guy did not play. It was miserable because I was really looking forward to seeing Kevin Hayes in black and gold. I still think he's a really good player. That's why I've been a little bit critical of him. But now he's starting to find his groove. He's starting to find a rhythm. He's playing a lot better up the middle, and he's helping the Penguins win hockey games. Okay, so I'm expecting more big things out of Kevin Hayes. He's been scoring. So let's score some more. A hat trick for either Rickard Rakell or Kevin Hayes tonight would be awfully nice. Don't you agree, Penguins fans? We're going to continue to support this team to the very end, guys. I mean, we talk about, will they rebuild? Will they, trade everybody away? I think it's somewhere in the middle, like Kyle Dubas said. It's somewhere in the middle, and so right now we want to continue to win games. We're sure as heck not tanking for a draft pick at this point in time. There is no way. So let's look at the breakdown of the matchup tonight, and then I'll let you guys get back to the rest of your day until the game tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep reminding you because when we play on the West Coast, it is a late night. A lot more coffee or tea, whatever you guys prefer, caffeine in general, to get us through the night. But we got to watch our Penguins regardless. I know some of you watch the games the next day, but this is one that I'm going to watch in real time, and I might even make a video after it, depending on how it goes. But we look at this breakdown, and I like this graphic here from Top Down Hockey. A lot of good data here. The red is bad, the blue is good. So you see, the best trait for the Anaheim Ducks is their goaltending. The tandem of John Gibson and Lucas Dostal has been fantastic for the Anaheim Ducks this season. Gibson is the expected goalie tonight. And Nedeljkovic is projected to start for Pittsburgh. If you look at the numbers, Dostal has a .907 save percentage, .296 GAA, and then for John Gibson, his goals against average is .286 with a save percentage of .909. Both of them have been awesome for the Ducks this season. The Ducks are 7th in the Pacific Division, but their goaltending has not been why they have struggled. I think a lot of their goaltending, and I wanted the Penguins to trade for John Gibson. Is that realistic? No, it absolutely is not, but we still can pray and have hope that John Gibson could someday come home. But looking at the actual stats, I mean, you see the goals 4th. The Ducks are dead last in the league. Just like the Penguins are dead last in goals allowed, the Ducks are dead last in goals 4th. So they're not a team that scores a lot of goals. They need to win with their defense and their goaltending. Their defense isn't anything crazy, but their goaltending definitely is. They have the 2nd worst power play in the NHL and the worst faceoff percentage, whereas the Penguins have the 4th best power play and a top 10 faceoff winning team. So there are a lot of stats that favor the Penguins in this contest, and I do favor them a lot against a team like the Ducks. I think they're hot right now. I think they played one of their best games, if not their best game of the season against the Kings, and the Ducks game is coming at a perfect time, a less superior team, I might say, and they are -150 to win this game. So that's really all I have to talk about today. It's game day, 10 o'clock p.m., guys. Be tuned in for Penguins versus the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. A couple quick hits here. Sidney Crosby has had a lot of success against the Ducks in his career. We talked about Kevin Hayes as well. The Penguins' special teams is going to be key. It's going to be key. Their power play has been fantastic. Since November, I believe it's been really, really good. A lot better. And obviously, Matt Grzelcyk, quarterback in that power play, he's been good at that lately as well. And then another note, I told you guys this last game, Penguins 125 times has Crosby and Malkin scored in the same game. Well, tonight, they're looking for their 400th win when they both get a point in a game. So if Crosby and Malkin get a point in the same game, the Penguins are currently .399, 90, and 49 in those instances. They're looking for number 400. Big number 400. And if you look at history between these two teams lately, Pittsburgh has won 8 of 10 against Anaheim. Going back further, 15-6 against Anaheim, and they have 3 consecutive wins when they visit the Honda Center. So Pittsburgh, looking to keep that going, looking to keep that win streak alive, and I am excited to see Penguins Ducks tonight. Last order of business, the new thing that we've added to Penguins Digest, fact or trivia of the day. It is January 23rd, a Thursday. The trivia question is, what Penguins forward had a career-high 35 goals in the 1987-88 season? I'll read it again. What Penguins forward had a career-high 35 goals in the 1987-88 season? I will pause for a good 10 seconds to give you guys a chance to answer it before I tell you the answer. The answer is Randy Cunningworth. So that is your fact or trivia of the day here on Penguins Digest. If you guys hate this segment, just tell me because I could stop doing it. But thank you guys for watching this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We hit 500 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that. Let's get to 1,000. I don't know when. I don't know how. Let's do it. Somehow, some way. Let's go Pens. Beat the Ducks tonight. And we will have a celebratory video later today if they do. I will be so excited to talk about that because I need this team to get back on track. I'm tired of everybody talking about selling everybody. Let's win some games, all right? Let's force Kyle Dubas to win now. So let's go Pens and let's beat the Ducks. Nedeljkovic versus Gibson is the expected goaltender matchup. We broke it down. We also talked about Dubas, what he said recently to debunk the trade rumors, the fire sale rumors that have been coming out lately. Yeah, we talked about a lot on the show. So we'll be back with another episode either later today or tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next edition of Penguins Digest.